So in tonight's episode of The Rookie, Officer John Nolan's got a whole new thing on his plate with his missus. He's head over heels for Bailey, and she's totally smitten too. They've been cruising along happy as clams, but now they're hitting a speed bump called parenthood. Bailey's got baby fever after taking care of a toddler for a bit. It's like a switch flipped, and now she's all about having a kid or maybe even adopting. She's not got it all mapped out, just knows she's got this itch to be a mom. So she spills the beans to Nolan, but he's not so sold on the idea. He's already been down that road with his older kid who's in their 20s now. He's done the whole sleepless nights and diaper duty gig, and he's not exactly jumping at the chance to relive it. Plus, he's got a few more miles on him than Bailey, and figures he's closer to being a grandpa than a new dad. So, he tries to talk her out of it. But Bailey's not giving up that easy. She lets it slide for now, at least until Nolan's off to work. Nolan had a busy day at work. First, he had to catch someone who stole Smitty's police car. Then he helped out with moving homeless people from their camps to shelters. Some prisoners were there to help too, but one of them managed to escape while everything was chaotic. Among the belongings of the homeless, they found a bag that belonged to a woman named Karina Lewis. She was murdered by her boyfriend, who admitted to strangling her during an argument. He couldn't remember what he did with her body. With the help of a homeless man, Aaron and Detective Harper found Karina's remains in the woods. What's strange is that she was shot in the head, which wasn't what the boyfriend confessed to. Why would the boyfriend admit to killing Karina, but then lie about how he did it? Nolan and Celina were puzzled by this. Meanwhile, they were on the hunt for a prisoner who escaped. Her name's Teresa Vaughn, and she had just 2 weeks left in her sentence when she made a run for it. Nolan and Celina figured there had to be a reason for her escape, so they decided to talk to her mom. Teresa's mom had visited her at the homeless camp, and they had a heartfelt moment. Naturally, suspicions fell on the mom as a possible accomplice in Teresa's escape, but she denied any involvement. Turns out, Teresa's mom was trying tough love, hoping her daughter would straighten up. Teresa landed in prison for assaulting a woman she suspected was involved with her boyfriend. Her priorities were a bit mixed up back then. Her mom thought Teresa might have escaped to seek revenge, not on her boyfriend, but on Doreen, the woman she had assaulted. So Teresa had a chat with Doreen, and it seems she finally believed Doreen wasn't involved with Mike because Teresa thought Mike was cheating with someone else. She was out for revenge on this mystery person. But here's the twist. Teresa and Mike weren't even together anymore. Mike called it quits when Teresa ended up in jail. Meanwhile, the cops were still on the lookout for Teresa, and Detective Harper uncovered some important info. She found out that Karina's boyfriend had been pressured into confessing to a crime he didn't commit. The pressure came from both the cops working the case and a guy who wanted to be the next district attorney. Harper knew she was stepping on some toes by reopening the investigation. But she didn't care because she wanted justice for Karina. Aaron had her back all the way. They made sure the medical examiner did an autopsy on Karina's body, now that they had it. They also dug into DNA evidence and quickly found a suspect, a guy named Ryan Hones, who had no solid alibi. Ryan tried to cover his tracks by getting his girlfriend to lie for him, but Aaron saw through it. He started poking around on his own, but Detective Harper had to rein him in. She knew why he was so passionate about this case. He'd been wrongly accused before, stuck in prison for something he didn't do. She understood that, and she was ready to let some things slide. But they had to handle things the right way if they wanted to clear the boyfriend's name. Celina also found out who Mike was actually sleeping with. It wasn't Doreen. It was Teresa's own mom, Brenda. And to make things worse, Mike got Brenda pregnant. Teresa must have put 2 and 2 together when she caught a whiff of her mom's scent on Mike. So Teresa took off and went straight to Mike's place. She started smashing up his stuff with a bat. Then her mom showed up, packing heat and threatening them both. That's when Nolan had Celina flip on the cruiser's sirens. It spooked Teresa enough to bolt out of there. Nolan nabbed Teresa. She's definitely looking at more time for her escape, and she might rack up even more charges for bringing a gun and holding Mike hostage. And while all this was going down, Lucy finally got some answers from Branford. Turns out, his archenemy paid her a visit to throw down some threats. He scared Lucy and Tamara. Lucy made sure Tamara was okay. Then she confronted Bradford about his shady dealings, and he spilled the beans. Turns out, when they were in the military, Ray Watkins started working with the enemy. Bradford planned to catch Ray with his buddies, but Ray called in an airstrike. killing 2 of their pals. Bradford and his buddy Mark Greer thought Ray was dead and reported it as such. But they recently found out he's alive. Mark wanted revenge, but Bradford refused to break the law. Instead, he tracked Ray down and caught him red-handed breaking the law. He arrested Ray and his crew with Lucy and Detective Lopez, backing him up. Of course, Ray tried to ruin Bradford's career as a parting shot. Internal Affairs grilled Bradford, but he lied about what happened. Luckily, they didn't buy Ray's accusations since he had no proof. Mark covered his tracks when they planned to kill Ray. Ray's mom was too sick in the hospital to testify against them. Bradford might get into trouble later on, but for now, things were okay. Still, he felt guilty for lying, so he decided to end things with Lucy. He didn't think he deserved to be loved. Good news though, Karina's real murderer was caught. That means her boyfriend will be set free from prison. The assistant district attorney made it seem like a victory for himself, so nobody was getting punished. Also, Nolan changed his mind about having a baby.